Bryophytes and Pteridophytes. Bryophytes. Mosses and liverworts are included under bryophytes. They are most commonly found growing in the hills in moist shaded areas. Bryophytes can live in soil, but for sexual reproduction they are dependent on water, hence they are called amphibians of the plant kingdom. They usually grow in shaded, humid and damp localities. On bare rocks or soil, they play an important role in plant succession. Compared to algae, the plant body of bryophytes is more differentiated. The bryophytes are thallus-like, prostrate or erect. They have unicellular or multicellular rhizoids by which they are attached to the substratum. They lack leaves, stem or true roots, but they may have leaf-like, stem-like or root-like structures. In bryophytes, the main plant body is haploid. They are called gametophytes as they produce gametes. The bryophytes have multicellular sex organs and the male sex organ is called antheridium. The antheridium produces biflagellate anthrazoids. The female sex organ is flask-shaped. It is called archegonium and the archegonium produces a single egg. The biflagellated anthrazoid are released into the water. An anthrazoid comes in contact with the archegonium and fuses with the egg to form a zygote. An anthrazoid comes in contact with the archegonium and fuses with the egg to form a zygote. The zygote do not immediately undergo reduction division, but they produce a sporophyte, which is a multicellular body. The sporophyte thus formed is not free living. The sporophyte is attached to the gametophyte, which is photosynthetic. It derives nourishment from the photosynthetic gametophyte. Some of the cells in the sporophyte undergo meiosis, thus forming haploid spores. When the spores germinate, they produce a gametophyte. It is seen that the bryophytes are of little economic importance. Some of the mosses provide food for mammals, other animals and birds. The species of sphagnum moss provide peat that have been used as fuel for a very long time. As these mosses have a capacity to hold water, they are used as a packing material for the transshipment of living material. Lichens and mosses are of great ecological importance as these organisms were the first to colonize rocks. They make the substrate suitable for the growth of higher plants by decomposing the rocks. The mosses reduce the impact of falling rain as they form dense mats on the soil. They hold the soil particles and prevent soil erosion. The bryophytes are divided into two types, liverworts and mosses. The liverworts usually inhabit in the shady, moist habitats like deep in the woods, banks of streams, damp soil, marshy ground, and bark of trees. The liverwort have a plant body that is thalloid, example Markensia, which is dorsiventral and very close to the substrate. Some of the members of the liverwort are leafy and on the stem-like structure they have tiny leaf-like appendages in two rows. Fragmentation of thalai is a method of asexual reproduction seen in liverworts or by gemmae, which are a form of specialized structures. Gemmae are asexual buds that are green and multicellular. They grow on the thalai and develop in small receptacles called gemma cups. The gemmae germinate to form new individuals when they become detached from the parent. Sex organs, male and female, are produced either on different thalli or on the same thalli during sexual reproduction. The sporophyte is divided into foot, seta, and capsule. The spores are produced inside the capsule after meiosis, and free-living gametophytes are formed when these spores germinate. Mosses. The gametophyte is the predominant stage of the life cycle of moss. It consists of two stages. The first stage develops directly from the spore and is the protonema stage. It is frequently filamentous stage which is creeping, green and branched. The second stage develops from the secondary protonema as a lateral bud and as is a leafy stage. They bear spirally arranged leaves with upright and slender axes. They have multicellular and branched rhizoids through which they are attached to the soil. Sex organs develop at this stage. In the secondary protonema in the mosses, vegetative reproduction is by fragmentation and budding. The sex organs Antheridia and Archegonia in sexual reproduction are produced at the apex of the leafy shoot. The zygote after fertilization forms a sporophyte consisting of a foot, seta and capsule. When compared to the liverwort, sporophyte in mosses is more elaborate. The spores are present in the capsule and they are formed after meiosis. The spore dispersal in mosses have an elaborate mechanism. Some of the common examples of mosses are sphagnum, polytrichum, and funaria. Pteridophytes. Horsetails and ferns are included under pteridophytes. Pteridophytes are frequently grown as ornamentals. They are also used for medicinal purposes and they act as soil binders. Vascular tissue, xylem and phloem were first seen in these terrestrial plants evolutionarily. Some of the pteridophytes may survive well in sandy soil conditions while usually the pteridophytes are found in cool, damp and shady places. As you know, a dominant phase in the life cycle of bryophytes is a gametophytic plant body, while sporophyte is the main plant body in pteridophytes. The sporophyte is differentiated into true root, stem, and leaves, and these organs show the presence of well-differentiated vascular tissues. Small leaves called microphylls are present in pteridophytes as in Selaginella, or large leaves called macrophylls are present in ferns. Leaf-like appendages called sporophylls bear sporangia in the sporophytes. In some pteridophytes such as Selaginella equisetum, sporophylls may form distinct compact structures called strobili or cones. The spore mother cells undergo meiosis to produce spores in the sporangia. The spores germinate to give rise to a prothallus, which are small but multicellular, inconspicuous, free-living, mostly photosynthetic thalloid gametophytes. The gametophytes grow in shady places which are cool and damp. The spread of living pteridophytes is limited and restricted to narrow geographical regions because of the requirement to grow in shady places which are cool and damp and the need of water for fertilization. The gametophytes bear male sex organs called antheridia and female sex organs called archegonia. For transfer of anthrazoids, the male gametes which are released from the antheridia to the mouth of the archegonium water is required. Zygote is formed when the male gamete fuses with the egg present in the archegonium. A multicellular, well-differentiated sporophyte is formed from the zygote, which is the dominant phase of the pteridophytes. The majority of the pteridophytes produce similar kinds of spores and such plants are called homosporous. Some of the pteridophytes like Selaginella and Salvinia produce large spores called megaspores and small spores called microspores and such plants are known as heterosporous. The megaspores give rise to female gametophyte and microspores germinate and give rise to male gametophytes respectively. For variable periods, the female gametophyte are retained on the parent sporophytes in these plants. The development of the young embryos and the zygotes take place within the female gametophyte. The event is a forerunner to the seed habit and is considered as an important step in evolution. The pteridophytes are further classified into four classes: Psilopsida, example Psilotum; Lycopsida, example Selaginella lycopodium; Spinopsida, example Equisetum; and Pteropsida, example Dryopteris, Pteris, Adiantum. Please share this video with your friends. Leave your comments below and please subscribe to my channel for more content. Click the bell notification that would let you know when a new video is uploaded. Thank you so much for watching.